Let us call to order the June 8th, 2026 regular board meeting of the Corpus Christi Independent School District Board of Trustees at 5:01 p.m. All items discussed or voted upon this afternoon have been posted as required by state law. This meeting is being live streamed and a complete recording will be archived for the public to view at their convenience. Please speak into your microphone so those watching the live stream will be able to hear what you're saying. At this time, I will call roll to establish a quorum. Eric Villarreal.
Here.
Don Clark. Here. Dr. Alice Upshaw Hawkins. Marty Bell.
Here.
S. Jaime Arredondo. Here. Steve Barrera.
Present.
And I am Dolly Gonzalez Trolley. A quorum has been established and we will proceed with the agenda. We will have our invocation with Dr. Arizmendi.
Yes, good afternoon. If I could have everybody stand, please. Bow your head. Heavenly Father, we come with grateful hearts as we reflect on the many successes of this school year. We're thankful for the growth and achievements shown by our students and our dedicated campus staff. We celebrate our graduates and we wish them continued success as they take toward a bright and promising future. We also are thankful for a year filled with learning and accomplishment, and we look forward to these opportunities that the summer will bring and the many enrichment programs on our campuses and the camps being hosted to help continue this to support the growth of our students. We extend our sincere gratitude to our teachers and our principals. Their commitment and care have made a lasting difference in the lives of the students that they serve this year. And also, Lord, this evening, as decisions are made in service of our students and our families and our communities, may they be guided by the wisdom of our board. Together, we remain committed to the excellence, knowing that CCI ISD is the place to be. In your name we pray. Amen. Now for the pledges. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible. Thank you.
And next we're going to have our district mission and vision. And I would like to see if Mr. Villarreal, would you remind us of our mission?
Certainly. Our mission is to develop the hearts and minds of all students, preparing them to be lifelong learners who continue their education, enter the world of work, and become productive citizens.
Thank you. Mr. Barrera, can you remind us of our vision?
Vision is to become a world-class school system where every student is a learner, every student is a graduate, and every graduate is success.
Thank you. We'll keep that in mind as we move through our agenda today. And our next item is our audience participation of non-agenda comments. As we begin, actually, I don't think we have anybody signed up today, so I will not get to read that long part of the script. Now we're going to move to our special recognitions. Ms. Libby?
As the board makes their way forward, if we have any parents who are waiting to be seated, I still have some open seats. I know everybody loves to sit in the front row, but I do have some open seats. Also, a reminder, when we honor each group, we'll have the district photographer take the first photo, and then we'll ask everybody to freeze those beautiful smiles, and we'll give our families and loved ones a chance to come forward and get their photo as well. And we do post all these photos to social media as well, so we'll get everyone a picture. And as our board gets into position, I'll begin by saying that President Trolley and members of the board and Dr. Hernandez, we have some great recognitions this evening, both for adults and our students. And we begin tonight with our American Heart Association and the District of Lifesavers program. And we are celebrating tonight that CCISD has been named a District of Lifesavers by the American Heart Association. We are only the second district in the state of Texas to receive this designation. This designation certifies that the district has worked with the AHA to complete a district-wide cardiac emergency response plan, as well as having 100% campus participation in the Kids Heart Challenge and the American Heart Challenge. At this time, I'm going to invite Development Director Sonia Martinez to come forward to introduce her colleagues this evening and to say a few words.
Thank you, Ms. Libby. Thank you, everybody. I have the honor to be here, just like Ms. Libby said. CCISD is only the second school district in the state of Texas out of 35 that attempted this last school year to establish a district-wide cardiac emergency response plan and implement the Kids Heart Challenge and American Heart Challenge program at all schools, earning this designation of District of Lifesavers. We would like to recognize District Health and Physical Education Specialist Christy Kluhl for her leadership of this initiative. Christy played a pivotal role in the development and district-wide implementation of a cardiac emergency response plan. She also collaborated closely with campuses to successfully expand the Kids Heart Challenge and American Heart Challenge programs across the district, ensuring equitable access to resources and opportunities for all students and their families to learn life-saving skills such as hands-only CPR. Just in this year alone, over 600 kids in CCISD learned hands-only CPR, and over 1,500 students participated in our program. We look forward for the expansion to the next school years and beyond. We would also like to acknowledge Dr. Cynthia Hernandez, who is the Senior Director of Teaching and Learning, for her unwavering support throughout the implementation process. The District of Lifesavers designation honors CCISD's commitment to cardiac emergency preparedness and student wellness. We're proud of our partnership and look forward to the continual pursuit to make Corpus Christi a safer and healthier place for this generation and the next. And I have here my colleagues. This is Melissa De La Garza, who was helpful with the community, with the cardiac emergency response plan, lots of letters. And we have Aaron Ranke, who is our director over South Texas, and we have many board members here with us as well. Aaron, did you want to say anything?
No, we want to congratulate CCISD for all of their work to make sure that their school campuses are a healthier place or a safer place in the event of a cardiac arrest. Thank you for looking out for the safety of our students. And I would like to thank 3 of our board members that are involved with our Nation of Lifesavers, Dr. Mary Jane Garza, Dr. Osbert Blow, and Judge Joe Benavides, who are definitely champions of our cause as well. So thank you.
We're going to invite them to come forward, as well as the aforementioned PE and health specialist Christine Clewell. Please come forward. Dr. Cynthia Hernandez, Dr. Sandra Clement, please come forward for the photo. And when we complete the photo, I'm going to ask you to please exit down the center aisle, because we do have students coming in for their recognitions, and we will need to leave that aisle open for people to pass through, please. All right, hold those smiles, please. All right, I think the district photographer is going to do it. If you'll exit down the center aisle, thank you so much. At this time, we would like to recognize CCISD's honorees for the Texas Association of School Boards Media Honor Roll. This honor was created to recognize individuals and media outlets for reporting fair, accurate, and balanced stories on our schools. My wonderful honorees, when I call your name, please come forward to greet the board members. We have a certificate for each of you, and then please remain standing so we may take a group photo. This year's Media Honor Roll recipients for CCISD are General Manager for KEDT South Texas Public Broadcasting, Don Dunlap. KEDT is recognized for their partnership with the news division, as well as the long-running Challenge academic quiz show and other programming and initiatives. We also honor this evening assignments planner and photographer for KIII, Jeremy Landers. Jeremy has been and continues to be a valued partner in coordinating early morning live shots of upcoming events and has all around been a great partner to work with between CCISD and the station. We thank you both for playing such a valuable role in public education, and we'll take a photo at this time. All right, hold those beautiful smiles, please. All right, congratulations. Thank you for your service. Up next, we would like to recognize our Destination Imagination team from Collegiate High School. These students recently competed at the Destination Imagination Global Competition in Kansas City, Missouri, against students from over 40 states and dozens of other countries. The team finished first in the world for the Give and Take Service Learning Challenge and won the highest instant challenge score. Students, when I call your name, please come forward to greet the board members. Remain standing. We'll take a group photo. This time, I would like to call forward Anna Shao. Julia Wright. Luke Lara. Jaden Molina. If Principal Dr. Tracy Rodriguez, Destination Imagination sponsor Sari Jack, and Assistant Superintendent for High Schools Dr. Bruce Wilson, please come forward to join the photo. Hold those smiles, please. I know we have some folks who want to take your picture. Y'all can come forward if you'd like. You can come on up. All right, congratulations. Please exit down the center aisle. We're now going to recognize our career and technical education students who competed at state-level competitions. And we're going to honor a portion of them this evening, and then Carroll High School and Veterans Memorial High School will be here in July, so we can honor them as well. We're going to begin by recognizing some Ray High School students who competed in Skills USA Texas. We begin tonight with Sebastian Sandoval. Ian De Leon. Daniel Cisneros. Eduardo Hernandez. Hayden Daniel. Julian Juarez. Gabriela Santos. Chloe Clark. Eleonora Yanis. Madison Martinez. Marissa Roldan. Mariah Escobedo. Maria Lozano. All right. I'm also going to add to that group from Ray High School, the Family, Career, and Community Leaders of America, the culinary group, and they are advancing to national competition. And representing this evening is Aaliyah Olvera. Able to make it tonight. All right, I'm going to jump around a little bit here because we have some different groups from different schools. So Principal Roxanne Gonzalez Cuevas, if you would please come join, and Ron Medlinski, if you're here this evening as well. Yes, sir, there you are. Please come forward. Yes. Oh, Jeff Johnson, please come forward. Thank you. And Dr. Wilson, I think you're behind me as well. If you come forward to join the photo. And Dr. Peterson, are you here as well? Come on forward. So sorry. That's what I get for jumping around a little. Dr. Clement, did you want to join that photo as well? All right, hold those smiles, please. Families, you're welcome to come up. Cheerleaders, other supporters. Wait, one more. All right, congratulations. Would you please exit down the center aisle? All right, we have two students who competed in the Weld Wars 2026 welding competition from Moody High School. Daniel Pena. And Keyshawn Odom. All right, Dr. Enrique Vela, would you please come forward? And Dr. Peterson, come on forward. Dr. Wilson. And then I know we have a sponsor, I think, from Moody here as well. Dr. Vela, Dr. Peterson, is there a sponsor I should be calling up? Okay. All right. Thank you. All right. Please hold those smiles. Hold on. And Dr. Clement, I didn't get you in here, but if you want to hop back in with the families, you're more than welcome, but give her a moment. Don't rush her. There she goes. All right, congratulations, students. Also tonight, we have students from Branch and Collegiate who recently competed in the Texas Association of Future Educators, and we honor them this evening. Advancing to national competition, we have Liliana Perales, and Victoria Shaw. From Collegiate High School, we have Liana Aguirre. Kalani Amano. Violet Gomez. Kaylin Martinez. Josiah Ponce. Alejandro Rodriguez. And Dr. Tracy Rodriguez, if you'd please come forward, as well as Dr. Wilson, Dr. Peterson, and if we have a sponsor here this evening, they're welcome to come forward as well. Come on forward. All right, hold those beautiful smiles, please. I'll give a few more photographers. Y'all come on up and get the photo you want. Come on forward. No, you're good. I think you drove that car a lot, I know. All right, congratulations, students. You make us very proud. Madam President, this concludes this evening's presentations.
Our next item is a public hearing for the purpose of receiving public comments on the adoption of proposed 2026-27 budget and tax rate. It is 5:24 p.m. and we'll open and conduct a public hearing for the purpose of receiving comments on the adoption and proposed 26-27 budget and tax rate. Ms. Roxanne Douglas will open and provide some information to begin the hearing.
Good afternoon, President Gonzalez, colleagues, Superintendent Dr. Hernandez, and all members of the board.
Is that better? Okay. As I was saying, good afternoon, President Gonzalez, Charlie, Dr. Hernandez, and all members of the board. I am here to go over our financial review for the general fund, food service, and debt service fund for our upcoming 26-27 fiscal year. So to begin, as I mentioned at our last budget workshop, I'm required to mention a taxpayer income impact statement that is new to our meetings. So as a reminder, it is out there. It is stated on our website, and there's a link on our website, and it looks like this. It's just the basic information of our median valued homestead values, their expected taxes based on our proposed tax rate. And as values come in, and in July, if things should change, this taxpayer impact statement will certainly be revised and posted on the website. So therefore, okay, the financial review of the general fund. Our proposed budget that we are asking to adopt shows our revenues at $365 million, expenditures at $368 million, leaving us to adopt a deficit of $2.7 million for this upcoming year. Food service is a balanced budget showing revenues of 26.7 million, same amount of expenditures, hence the balanced budget. Our debt service is showing a slight increase in net activity. We have 63.8 million in expected revenues with 63.7 million in expected expenditures. Compensation recommendations, all based on our TASB salary study we had, which will include a general pay increase of 1% for our teachers, which equates to $680 for a 187-day teacher. Our equity adjustments to teachers in certain years of experience, and moving nurses, librarians, and instructional coaches from the teacher salary schedule to an admin pay grade. All of our pay grades for mid-max we're proposing to be adjusted to align closer to market. The last time it was adjusted was 21-22. Administrators, a 1% of midpoint for general pay increase. As all of the scales are being increased, if that leaves somebody still below minimum, they would also get a slight increase to get them to the new minimum. There are some pay equity adjustments for DIOGs, principals, assistant principals, counselors, and librarians. Anyone will be allowed to go over max to receive the full general pay increase of 1%. And as we had previously spoken, our maintenance employees currently who are 236 are going to be reduced to 230 days in lieu of a raise this year. Your auxiliaries, 1% of midpoint. An adjustment to men is applicable. There are some, I won't go over all these bullets, but there's some other adjustments that could be realized as an auxiliary employee. Food service, they are receiving a 3% of GPI. Recall food service is funded by Department of Ag, and she has that ability to pay her employees a different pay increase. What does that mean in general fund costs? That is going to cost for all of our teachers around 1.9 million, administrators about 1.3, auxiliary 1.4, 1.5 for a total increase for pay raises of $4.7 million, which is built into the budget. Tax rate information, we don't anticipate an increase at this time. We're proposing the same tax rate that we currently have, which is listed here for M&O and INS. This is something new as well. Each time we go to adopt our budget, I am to append the tax rate calculation worksheet. However, because we're a July 1 year, that is not yet available. When it does become available, it will be posted on our website where prior year tax rate calculation worksheets are stored. So just needed to mention that. So that leaves the remaining, today is June 8th, the day that we will have the public hearing to discuss the budget proposed tax rate. When July 24th comes around, our certified tax roll will be received by the district, and around August 24th is the anticipated date of discussing and adopting our proposed tax rate officially. That is the conclusion of my presentation. I guess if anybody has any comments or questions.
I didn't turn it on, but go ahead and, Dr. Hawkins.
Thank you. I was just looking at, excuse me, looking at the other fund groups. The second paragraph, you were saying that the interest in seeking fund was 63.7, but our document has 63.6. Was that a roundup or something? I'm on page...
For the debt service?
Yes.
You don't see 63.8 revenue and 63.6 expenditures on your slide?
Well, I see...
I may have rounded up when I verbally spoke.
Okay. For y'all see what I see? That was on page 78. Well, I'm actually looking at the write-up that's on 78. You were going over the slides, is that correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I just wanted to ask about that difference, because you said 63.7 in your speech, but in the write-up, it's 63.6 million for the sinking fund for debt services.
Yes, ma'am. Anything over 500,000, I tend to round up to the next digit, so. But 63.67 is exactly the expenditures budgeted.
Okay, all right. Yeah, okay. Well, I don't want to be approving something that I don't agree with. Okay. That was all I had.
Your deliberators are open now if anybody else has any questions or comments. Anybody? Okay.
Appreciate the team's hard work, considering where we were last year and where we are this year and what we're adopting. The fact that we've made a roughly $23 million gain. Thank you very much, and kudos.
Thank you for your support.
Yeah, and I will add on to that. Thank you. But you know, and if not mentioning it later, or I'll mention it now instead of later. But you know, just for our public's awareness, we have not increased our tax rate since the 21-22 school year, and in fact, we've decreased it twice, which I think gets very little attention. So we are, in fact, doing a lot more with less. And kudos again to you. It's great news. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item is closed session. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't close the public hearing. Apologize. It is, and public comment. Does anybody wish to make public comment on the public hearing? Okay, seeing none, we're going to close the public hearing at 5:33 p.m. And that will take us to closed session, right? The Board of Trustees will now enter closed session at 5:33 p.m. pursuant to Texas Government Code Sections 551.071 and 551.074. The board has now returned from closed session at 5:43 p.m. Do we have a motion?
Madam President, I move to non-renew the contract of a term contract employee as discussed in closed session and to give notice to the employee.
Do you have a second? Your deliberators are open. Actually, sorry, let's see why they're not blinking. There we go.
Stuck on yes.
Motion carries. Okay, that's going to take us to our administrative reports and Mr. Knipes.
Good evening, President Gonzalez-Trolley, members of the board, and Dr. Hernandez. My name is Ron Knipes, and I proudly serve as the Director of the Office of Admissions, Attendance, and Student Support Services. This evening, I'll present an overview of the district's discipline and attendance trends. I'll also provide an update on the progress of programs and interventions currently being implemented to support improved student attendance and behavior outcomes in alignment with the district's mission to develop the hearts and minds of all students, preparing them to be lifelong learners who continue their education, enter the world of work, and become productive citizens. Our Lone Star governance goal of 4.1 for discipline is to reduce the percentage of out-of-school suspensions, or OSS, to 7.75% and decrease removals to the district's alternative education program, or the DAP SSC, to 3.25% by 2027. This chart compares discipline data across district campuses for the 23-24, 24-25, and 25-26 school years. Please note that the 25-26 data reflects end of the fifth 6 weeks results. The data includes out-of-school suspensions, or OSS, and removals to the district's alternative education program, or DAEP. Out-of-school suspensions are assigned by campus administrators. DAP removals are recommended by campus administrators and reviewed and approved by the Office of Admissions, Attendance, and Student Support Services. Campus administrators may assign in-school and out-of-school suspensions in conjunction with recommendations for removal in accordance with the requirements outlined in Chapter 37 of the Texas Education Code. Excuse me. Analysis of the 25-26 fifth semester data indicates that the district is currently on track to meet our end-of-the-year goals. Out-of-school suspensions are at 7.66%, and removals to the DAP are at 2.89%. Out-of-school suspensions are limited by the Texas Education Agency to a maximum of 3 school days per incident. Students experiencing homelessness, as defined by the McKinney-Vento Act, and students enrolled below grade 3 may not receive an OSS placement unless the infraction meets the specific criteria outlined in Chapter 37 of the Texas Education Code. House Bill 6 expanded the criteria for suspension of students experiencing homelessness and students below grade 3. Chapter 37 also requires campus administrators to consider mitigating factors when determining whether to assign an out-of-school suspension or recommend a removal to the DAP SSC. These factors include self-defense, intent or lack of intent, a student's discipline history, the presence of a disability, whether the student is in the conservatorship of the Department of Family Protective Services, and if they're experiencing homelessness. When determining whether to suspend a student or recommend placement in the DAP, campus administrators must balance the responsibility of maintaining a safe and orderly learning environment with the district's goal of limiting suspensions and DAP removals. This slide highlights the top discipline infractions resulting in removals to the DAEP. These categories consistently represent the highest areas of removal each year. The top row are violence-related infractions, which include assaults that are mandatory infractions, simple assaults, and mutual combat that are discretionary infractions. The bottom row are substance abuse-related infractions, which are illegal substance possession or abuse that are mandatory infractions, and those which are discretionary infractions. Overall, we observed decreases in most infractions compared to this time last year, with the exception of a modest increase in simple assaults. Our office collaborates with guidance and counseling, social work services, the nursing department, MTSS, Section 504, special education, and the CCISD Police Department to support campuses and address underlying factors that may contribute to these infractions. This slide highlights the district strategies implemented this year to help reduce out-of-school suspensions and removals to the DAP across all our campuses. Our first strategy was the implementation of a standardized discipline training protocol for administrators. This includes completion of the Texas Education Agency, or TEA's, Chapter 37 discipline course, which was updated this year in response to changes enacted through House Bill 6. Completion of this course was required for all administrators and part-time administrators who have access to student discipline. Additionally, our office recently conducted targeted training for campus administrators addressing common discipline errors identified through local audits. As a result, disciplinary decision-making by campus administrators has improved, and noncompliance with Chapter 37 procedures has been reduced. The second strategy focused on correcting discipline data entry errors within the system. Ongoing discipline audits will reduce errors in the end-of-the-year PM submissions and reinforce compliance with Chapter 37 requirements. The third strategy was the implementation of 6 weeks discipline reports provided to campus administrators to support monitoring of discipline trends. In addition, district leadership receives weekly discipline reports to assist with oversight of campus outcomes and emerging trends. Our Lone Star governance goal for attendance states that by 2027, CCISD will meet a daily attendance goal of 92%. I'll be reviewing our current progress, including attendance data, statistics, and the progress of strategies implemented to assist campuses in improving their attendance rates. This table compares the district's attendance trends for elementary, middle schools, and high schools, and the district for the 2023-24 and 24-25 school years. It also includes our unaudited attendance rate for the 25-26, which was 92.54% at the end of the fifth 6 weeks. The district's end of the year attendance goal is 91.5%. As you can see, current attendance rates indicate that we are exceeding the district, elementary, middle, and high school goals for 25-26. In analyzing the data, we recognize that attendance is influenced by multiple compounding barriers, including absences related to illnesses, generational chronic absenteeism, which I'll discuss in the next slide, a highly mobile student population, students who are experiencing homelessness, family and work responsibilities, emotional and mental health challenges, housing and food insecurity, as well as academic difficulties. These diverse and persistent barriers require a coordinated, school-wide approach supported by multiple departments. While acknowledging many of these factors may be beyond our direct control, it remains critical for campuses to identify individual student barriers and implement targeted, wraparound supports to meet the unique needs of students and families. Chronic absenteeism is defined as a student being absent for more than 10% of the school year's required operational and instructional time within the school year, or within an enrollment period that exceeds 30 instructional days. This equates to 9 days in a semester-long course or 18 days in a year-long course. Chronic absenteeism includes both excused and unexcused absences and is calculated based on each campus's ADA time or designated attendance period. Students enrolled for 30 instructional days or fewer are not eligible to be identified as chronically absent. Absences that qualify for state funding, such as verified medical appointments, court appearances, and approved college visits, are excluded from the chronic absenteeism calculation. Chronic absenteeism is not a board goal. However, the district closely monitors the data due to its impact on average daily attendance, which is a board goal. Chronic absenteeism remains a significant priority for both the state and district because it's strongly correlated with lower academic performance, including decreased assessment outcomes, lower course averages, and increased rates of grade retention and student dropout. As reflected in this chart, chronic absenteeism has continued a gradual decline since the 39.1% surge experienced during the 21-22 school year. For 25-26, our current unaudited rate is 26% as of the end of the fifth 6 weeks. This post-pandemic surge and subsequent decline mirror trends observed in districts across the state. To address chronic absenteeism, the district has implemented several key strategies, which I'll discuss on the next slide. The strategies on this chart focus on areas where the district systems can have the greatest impact on improving attendance, strengthening parent communication, supporting campuses in data analysis and implementation of best practices, and auditing attendance procedures to improve both accuracy and ADA funding. To enhance parent communication, the district implemented PowerSchool's Attendance Intervention Suite in January. This platform provides campuses with two-way text messaging capabilities, allowing direct, real-time communication with families to address attendance concerns promptly. Campuses can send text messages and emails to individual parents or predetermined groups sharing personalized attendance data. Messages may be sent daily or automated at scheduled intervals. Parents are actively engaging with the platform by responding to messages and submitting documentation, such as doctor's notes, directly to the campuses. In addition, campuses are distributing attendance report cards similar to academic progress reports that provide families with individualized attendance data and clear indicators of any concerns. The Attendance Intervention Suite also tracks student attendance patterns and logs parent communication, enabling campuses in the district to analyze trends, evaluate the effectiveness of these interventions, and maintain documentation that may support truancy prevention and intervention procedures. Our second strategy focuses on addressing denial of credit due to non-attendance. A district team reviewed current data and local policy and developed a consistent district-wide process across all high school campuses. This process automated loss of credit procedures while ensuring students are provided meaningful opportunities to regain their credit without inadvertently encouraging absenteeism. The third priority is the continued deployment of attendance officers and the recovery specialists to conduct 6-week campus audits. These audits ensure accurate attendance coding and play a critical role in protecting and maximizing the district's average daily attendance funding. In addition to these priorities, the department provides weekly data reports to district leadership. These reports include attendance rates, chronic absenteeism, enrollment trends, suspensions, disciplinary removals, students with 10 or more consecutive absences, and enrollment and withdrawal patterns. Campus administrators also receive comprehensive attendance and discipline reports every 6 weeks to support ongoing monitoring and decision-making. The district will continue to implement, review, and refine these systems while maintaining close collaboration with campuses to strengthen parent communication, enhance data analysis practices, ensure credit audit accuracy, and improve each campus's ability to proactively identify and address both individual student and campus-level attendance concerns. These are some of the recipients of the Superintendent's Perfect Attendance Award for the second semester. Every 6 weeks, students with perfect attendance are randomly selected to receive a certificate of recognition along with a backpack or gift bag filled with gift cards and other incentives to celebrate and reinforce the importance of being present at school every day. In addition, every 6 weeks, we recognize campus principals who demonstrate the highest growth in attendance, and we provide them with a monetary award for their student activity fund to support campus incentive activities. This is our second year partnering with Sames Ford through the Perfect Attendance Incentive Program. This year, Leah Pettis, a freshman from Veterans Memorial High School, won a 2026 white Ford Bronco Sport for maintaining perfect attendance. She's also pictured alongside last year's winner, Sophia Salinas. During last year's incentive program, 4,096 high school students earned attendance vouchers. Students who maintain perfect attendance during each 6 weeks grading period receive a voucher for the end of the year drawing. This year, we distributed 5,143 vouchers, which is an increase of 1,047 vouchers compared to last year's total. We're extremely proud of our partnership with Sames Ford and the positive impact this initiative continues to have on promoting daily attendance across our high schools. Thank you for your time and attention. Our office will continue to monitor attendance and discipline data and implement targeted strategies to support the district's mission to develop the hearts and minds of all students, preparing them to be lifelong learners who continue their education, enter the world of work, and become productive citizens. This concludes my presentation. I'm very happy to answer any questions you may have.
Thank you. Great report, and we do have a lot of questions and comments. Mr. Clark, I'll start with you.
Mr. Knipes, thank you. 3 quick questions. What does the percentage look like after 4/10/26? I'm talking about your attendance percentage, the district attendance comparison. As of April 10th, 26, our district is 92.54%. How much does that pull back in that last, say, 6 weeks of the school year?
I don't have that data yet because we're doing our audits right now, and they're
Historically.
I don't know, maybe 0.5%, probably. It's just a guess.
Okay, so it's not too bad then.
It's not too bad, and we still have that one, that attendance day because of weather that
Right.
we put in the waiver that they're going to take out, that we're submitting today after this, at the end of this presentation.
Okay, one would think, the last couple of weeks of May, the high school percentages would fall pretty significantly. The last date that we report to the state for attendance, is it our last day of school, or
Yes.
is it a different date?
It's the last day of school.
Okay. I see your goal for 2027 is 92% for district. Seeing that we have already met that, and you're not expecting the fall to go, if it's a 0.5%, then it goes to 92, will you adjust that goal for 27?
We only come back to adjust the goals when we meet with you all. We don't, customarily, we keep shooting for lower, 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 but we're due to come back in 2027, which is next school year, to relook at all of our goals and see where we're at that time. At that time, we would definitely adjust it, but we keep moving down. If we start adjusting, what we would be happy to do, but we would come back and then reopen it if you'd want. But normally, that's not what we do. We wait till the next year that we revisit all of them.
Well, we wouldn't want to move that percentage
Oh,
down.
we are working hard to move that percentage down regardless, sir. We want to take that
Want to move it
That
up?
percentage up, sorry, up, apologies, up. That percentage we're working, I was thinking discipline. That percentage we're working hard to move even further up so that when we do go to redo and recommend the goals, that it'll be even higher than this.
Well, that's what I'm asking.
That's our intention, yes.
If we've already met the goal of 2027, we're going to talk about increasing that goal
Yes, sir, we will next school
versus
year.
what we have here.
Yes, sir,
Okay.
next school year.
Thank you. Thanks again.
Thank you.
Dr. Hawkins.
You should put that in a better spot.
Don tells me I need to move that, but anyway. I was just, thank you for the report. But I had a question, and I don't know if I misheard or if I wasn't paying attention or whatever. But when parents, did I hear you say that parents submit excuses online? Is that correct?
No, they can text their attendance excuses to the individual campuses.
So if there's like a piece of paper, they just take a picture of it and send it in?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I was just wondering if we had something on the website where they could upload anything, any document.
Our new process is they can text, because most people text nowadays instead of using their email or other purposes, so that's where we've gone at this point.
Oh, okay. The other question is, did I hear the winner of this year's Sames Ford is a ninth grader?
Yes, ma'am.
Does she have driver's license?
Not yet, but they're working on that.
So is the
She's got
car,
an older brother.
is the car in her name or her guardian?
I assume it's in her parents' name or guardians,
Okay, all right.
because they
Well,
were there when she won the.
I'm sure she's gonna be chomping at the bit, so. Oh, okay, last year was freshman too, I didn't realize that, I was thinking she was a junior. These freshmen are racking it
They're
up.
go-getters.
Mr. Clark reminds me that they are both from veterans. I don't know. Thank you so much.
Oh, you're welcome.
Mr. Arredondo.
Thank you for the report, Mr. Knight. I'm just wondering, the percentages are good as far as showing how we're meeting our goals. And I'm wondering, we used to have a graph where we had the number of the different offenses by school. And I'm wondering if that could be provided.
Yes, sir, I can get that for you.
Yeah, because I think that's, you look at percentages, obviously they're lower. You look at the graph, they're coming down. But just as to just kind of configure as to campuses, areas, and whatever, as far as some of the challenges that both our teachers and administrators have, I like to just say that certainly proud of all the hard work that administrators are doing. You look at that across the district, the different networking, the different advertising, and the consistent attention to attendance, and it's showing. But like Mr. Clark said, we've reached the goal, and that's awesome. Now, just looking at the data, looking at the numbers, looking at the areas, I would think that would be a good way to have this team that's going to work with the schools look at either trends or areas that we need to just kind of help and support our administrators and teachers for, and that's the reason I was curious about numbers. The other thing is, one of the strategies that talks about having audits every 6 weeks and giving numbers to the principals as to how things are going. When you say the leadership is helping with that support, who is the leadership that you're referring to?
You're talking about discipline audits? Or
Yes, discipline issues.
Well, the campus administrators and then, of course, the school assistant superintendents.
Oh, okay, gotcha. So is there any, well, I don't know what the team's going to do to kind of help. Would it be the first time that we have a team working with schools as far as attendance?
Could you repeat that, please?
Would this the first time you're going to convene a team to work with schools as far as attendance?
No, we currently have an impact team that meets with the high schools, and we go over attendance, leavers, dropouts. That's something that's been going on for the last several years.
How about the other levels, elementary, middle school?
No, sir, they do it individually at the campus
Okay,
level.
so then maybe this team is going to be comprehensive to cover all 3 levels?
That's something we can look at, yes, sir.
Okay, because I guess in doing that, what is the discipline plans? We talk about consistency, be it the high school, be it the middle school, and be it the elementary. What is the discipline plan there is being or utilized across the district to work towards consistency as far as rules, patterns, consequences, etc. And then the second part to that is there any ongoing training and support for the teachers? Because obviously they play a very key role in inspiring attendance of their students.
Well, we provide the training for the administrators with the Chapter 37 training. My office doesn't directly provide training for teachers as far as their classroom management.
Well, it's not just about classroom management, it's also about just attendance. What specific activity might there be besides the posters, the reminders, the news flashes, things that go out, to the parents, et cetera? All inclusively, it's good, but what do we do to help the teachers and support for trying to make a point about good attendance to their students? And that's maybe something that this team can kind of look at.
Yes, sir.
To trying to help and provide support at the schools.
We do provide that data to the campus administrators.
Okay, and then you look at some of the changes that we're looking at in attendance, some of the procedures. Is there any consideration to look at policy? Right now we have a policy as far as a certain number of days that a student can either lose course credit and or
Lose credit. Credit.
Yeah, exactly. So is there any interest in looking at policy? Because I think I see that in kind of talking to families in general, that they're really paying a little bit better attention to attendance and having their children go to school. But I think, I've always felt that policy might be good to reinforce and get a little stronger to just not only remind the community, but also the students in and of themselves that they have a responsibility. And that's maybe another way that we can help our administrators and teachers to kind of improve attendance. Because as Mr. Clark said in asking the question about where is the percentage between April and now, that there's that, history about maybe the high school's attendance really becoming less towards the end of the school year. And you're saying that you're working specifically with high schools right now, but what can we do to maybe curtail that in any way? And I'm just thinking maybe policy is something we need to look at.
We can look at that. Thank you.
You bet. It's interesting to talk about excuses and now by being done by text. So parents are, you can verify that these texts are coming from actual parents and guardians, etc.
Well, we use their phone numbers entered in the system, so it sends it out to the student's parent or guardians.
Well, that's just kind of like, a general question and kind of knowing some of the answer already. But anyway, I commend your effort. Certainly, again, I really commend the effort of the schools and certainly the things that we have provided to encourage and provide, awards to the variety of people that we do for good attendance efforts. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Continue your effort. Thank you.
Mr. Villarreal.
All right. Thank you for the information, the presentation. I think we're all, happy with the trend of how things are going, both with discipline and absenteeism. Can you tell me what it's, I'll say this, that obviously I think we all know that there's only so much that a teacher or an administrator, or us, as school board members can do. And we have to rely on the community a lot. And actually I see, Ms. Miranda Davis here with Esperanza de Tejas. And I know how much they do in the community. And you mentioned, students who, may be lacking food or, their home life, we have no idea what's going on. I know we work with organizations throughout the community, such as CIS. I know we do the Keys Walk. What are some other organizations that we're able to utilize that can help us, lower the discipline number and increase the attendance number?
Well, my office recently met with the Housing Authority because the organization that runs the housing areas in the district in our area, they have a new CEO, and he has a big push on attendance. So he's talking about doing everything from, we're writing an MOU with them, or I'm working on that, to share information, because he has a big push for attendance. Some of the things he's looking at is like even purchasing buses to help transport kids back and forth, from the housing areas to the school. They also want to, they have community centers where they have laptops in there, and they wanted to work with us to get tutors to help the kids after school, if that's something possible. But there's lots of possibility with that collaboration that we're just starting to work with. And we've only met with them once, so that's a good thing that I'm working on.
That's good to hear. Obviously, we know that, we can't do everything ourselves.
Right.
And so I would encourage you to continue to seek out that assistance from other community organizations, and if it's something that, maybe something that don't wait for them to come to you, maybe we can actively go out and, I think the Keys Walk is one where we've got people from all over the community that help us out and say, hey, we can use this help throughout the year, not just this one day walking door to door. So appreciate the work, and I look forward to seeing those numbers even better next year.
We'd also met with the mayor earlier in the year to kind of develop a community-wide approach, but with all the other issues going on with the city, we've kind of held off on that right now.
Okay. Thank you. That's all I've got.
Mr. Bell.
Yes, Mr. Knives, thank you very much for your information. You draw the short straw and you get attendance and discipline. Sorry about that. Couple things. I know there was a big, earlier in the school year, we talked about kiddos that had chronic absences or excessive absences. They were going to be denied credit, and that was kind of hit home at Christmas break, right? How'd that work out?
It's worked pretty well. The policy was already in place, but it's just the process. They automated the denial of the credit. That they can go back if they have 75 to 90% of loss of attendance, then they have to go to the principal's plan. And if it's below 75%, they have to write a letter to the campus attendance committee to regain that credit. But it's worked pretty well. We're hoping that's going to trickle down once the.
And do we have any data on that about how many kiddos that would check that box to be excessive absences that failed their course because of excessive absences and went through the process to recover and got we got them back on track in terms of attendance and they continued showing up the second semester. I think that's the most important thing.
The registrars on Thursday of last week finished the X removal. So the campus administrators provided names to the registrars of students who made up the hours, who implemented the principal plan and made up the hours, and the registrars went in and removed the X's. And so now technology is going back to run a clean, updated report, and I can start pulling that data. Right now I don't have any data because we're just so close to actually removing X and
reissuing.
And reissuing. And, current juniors want their rate calculated. That's what we're focusing on, to get their rate calculated for senior applications. So we're just going into that window to be able to start pulling the data and analyzing how effective it was.
Right.
Did we see trends by campus or trends within student groups and things like that? So we don't have any of that yet, but we will.
Yeah, and that might be something that we could include next year or in one of our updated attendance deals to see if that's, if there's a little bite there, because it's all about if there's something that's, if not going to school is painful, is easy, then they're going to stay home. But if it's painful, then we can get them back up and running and whatnot. Sure. Also, the chronic absences, we have it, that's broken down for the district. Do we have a breakdown of chronic absences? Where do we see them most? At elementary school, middle school, or high school? Where are we seeing that 26%? Is it higher in elementary school and lower in the high school? I mean, where are we seeing that?
I'd have to get that data for you. I don't have it right in front of me.
Also, something that kind of struck me in our data right here is that, and by the way, 92.54 is awesome. Kudos to your team getting out there and working hard. But we see our attendance rate going up for the district, but we still have 1 out of every 4 kids in our district is chronically absent. I don't see how we can have 92% attendance when we have 25% of our, or 26% of our kids that have 10 or more absences over the course of the year. And I would venture to say 10 absences is probably a low number. There's some kiddos out there that have a bunch of absences. And so I don't see how you can reconcile the two, where you have 92% success rate over here, but yet we have 1 out of every 4 kids over here that is absent 10 or more days during the course of a school year. So I don't know, make it make sense to me.
Well, that's why we're hoping the policy that we're just talking about is going to decrease those amount of chronic absenteeism. And as we decrease that, we're going to see our attendance continue to go up. That's our hope.
So what we should see is our chronic absentee go down and our attendance goes up. That's the trend that we're looking for.
Yes, sir.
Okay, and the last one was how, and it kind of goes back to what Dr. Esmendez was just saying, is that how many students were denied credit because of excessive absences this year. And if those kids were denied credit, a couple of things. What does you're denied credit, you go to summer school, or do you have to come in and get seat time in? What does that look like to recover the credit?
So that's where the principal plan comes in, and it is designed with the campus administrator. So the campus has several tools that they could use. Every student might need, we might have a student who can't do summer school, but they're having to come in after school, Saturday school, something along those lines to be able to make up their attendance. And so that's where the committee will come together and work with that principal to design the plan that the student then has to execute.
And I'm hoping we have some type of uniformity there that.
Yes, we do. So if a child has passed the class and demonstrated proficiency in that course, then we want to look at, we have kind of a flow chart. So first of all, are they TSI ready? If not, we're going to provide them TSI interventions and preparation for them to pass the TSI A2. Then we look at ACT, SAT, STAR Prep. So we're looking at all of those different things, and we're giving principals those options so that they're not just sitting in class.
Seat time, right.
We're not doing seat time. We're giving them very purposeful options based on what each individual student needs.
And I guess it goes back to my question about the chronic absenteeism with 26%. Where are we seeing it the most? And that would dictate our plans. If we have a lot of chronic absenteeism at elementary school, we have something in place there and whatnot.
And you were on dot. It was high school. It's been high school. Last year at this time, 39% was the percentage of students. Right now they're at 31%. Have really made a dent. We're only going to, it was our first year of implementation with them. It was always there, but it was more, I'd say, heaviness from Dr. Hernandez, from our assistant superintendents, from this office, from CNI, to ensure that they had the support and that they were following through, and how could we help them do that and discern.
And what I struggle with that is if we have a ninth grader that is chronically absent, got, let's say 16 or 17 absence, and I still get credit for my deal, and next year I'm a sophomore, and there was it really wasn't a big deal, and now I'm at 21 or 22, and I get to make it up, and I'm going to get to go to the secret plan at the end of the school year. Kids talk, and siblings talk, and if we don't have some level of bite to not showing up to school, then, and I don't know what that looks like, because I know the state of Texas has really, really handcuffed us on that. And so I just struggle with you have 39 absences and you can come to the weekend school. I love TSI, but what if they don't do it? What if they show up and I'm not going to do it?
The number one thing that's going to bring kids to school is the relationship with the teachers.
Absolutely.
And so when they have a good relationship with their teachers and they like coming to school, that's what brings them to school. And so we have a lot that, I can tell you many kids only come to school because of their extracurriculars, their coaches, their art and music, fine arts. So all of those things are the things that get kids to come to school, and that's going to be the number one thing. The compulsory bit is not going to help kids as much as a strong, loving relationship with an adult.
I completely agree with that. And as graduation went through, the 20 graduations we did, that it was really kind of interesting to see how many kids were involved in some schools. That we had a great involvement in our band and our choir and ROT, whatever programs that were available and whatnot. In other schools we didn't. And I know that, here's the one that I love. Data shows, statistics shows that when kids are involved in things, they're going to show up. Their grades are going to be better. Their discipline is going to be better, and things like that. I just am concerned about 26% chronic absentee. 1 out of every 4 kids in CCISD has 10 or more absences a year. That's striking. And we have, what is our motility rate is at 20%. So 1 out of every 5 kids is going to leave the school that they're at right now at least once during their school year. And yet we're at 92%, which is kudos to you guys, recovering and getting your records right and everything like that. I would really like to see how many students were denied credit because of excessive absence. I know you're going to have that stuff and whatnot. I think it might see trends, help you guys see trends and where we really need to focus and really get after it. Thank you for, Mr. Knipes, man, I appreciate you. Thank you very much.
Mr. Burr.
Thank you, Mr. Knipes. Great information. Attendance and discipline is always in the forefront. The 3 R's: rules, responsibility, zero tolerance, capturing kids' hearts. My specific question is, do we have in elementary or middle school, I'm not sure, but do we have an initiative now that we're incorporating a whistle or harmonica? Because I don't know if maybe I missed a meeting or something, but I'm not sure. I haven't heard anything about that, but specifically, and if we are, you can send us that information. You don't have to give it to us now.
We have a new program, PAX. We will send you the information, but yes, go ahead.
Specifically is what I'm, and I'm always going, whether it's CNI, with our admin, with our teachers, if we're adding something to their plate, what are we taking away from their plate? Because now if we're at, 4 questions, what are you doing? What were you supposed to be doing? What's going to happen if you don't? Now we blow a whistle. I mean, we need to, I just like some more information. And again, as we're moving forward and adding to,
and we did. I believe Amanda Cameron brought earlier that, or it could have been Ms. Zyla, I'm sorry, I don't remember, that we were replacing CKH with PAX. So PAX is a very researched protocol to use. And the harmonica is just the, it's the callback. It's the item to get the students to focus. So, just like waterfall, those types of callbacks, that's what the harmonica does, just to get that student's attention. And that's just part of the research that they did. And so, absolutely, Ms. Cameron, her office is the one that has been leading the initiative. She's not here at this time, or we'd call her up to the podium to explain it to you, but yes, we'll get that information.
Awesome. Thank you.
Just to follow up, related question. I know that at the end of the summer, we get a summer report as to how summer school went. I'm just would be curious to see if we could get a report at the front end as to how, especially credit, when our secondary students are going to get their credit back by attending summer school. We have that for 4 weeks? How many weeks is our summer school? I know it's changed over the years.
6? I think it's 6. Semester A, semester B. I think it's 3 weeks.
So as we talk about attendance, is it required that they be there the whole summer? And
there is an attendance requirement built into summer school.
And I've heard that sometimes some of our high school students get on their computers and are able to complete credit in 2 or 3 days and they're done. So I'd like to get a report soon, if we could, as to the front end, as to how we are requiring our students and what instruction are they getting. Dr. Nanda's talked specifically about some of these items, which are excellent, but the academic part, how are we doing? And the other part that I want to kind of mention, there's no question in my mind what you mentioned, Dr. Hernandez, about the relationship with teachers as far as attendance. I think that's critical, and that's one of the reasons I was talking about what other things can we do to support our teachers. And I know that Ms. Barrera speaks about, we don't want to, buffet their plate, so to speak, but by the same token, what support items can we give our teachers to help build those relationships relative to habits of good attendance? And that's basically where I was coming from. Thanks again.
Dr. Hawkins?
I don't want to get caught up here with the hot mic, so I always turn it off, but I need to move that around. I wanted to kind of go back to something that you were saying in terms of students who are in jeopardy of losing their credit, and you issue or you send for them to show up one way or the other. And you're saying that when they come back to make up that time, they either study different tests, stuff like that. I'm not sure. Dr. Hernandez, you mentioned a list of things that you offer. Can you repeat that again for me, please?
So you're going to prioritize, so you're going to look, did the child pass STAR? And yes or no? And if they didn't pass STAR, we're going to help them with STAR preparation. And then we're going to say, did you now pass your TSIA? And then we're going to help them with that. And then SAT or ACT. So it's individualized based on what the child needs. And the principals they create those plans. They call it the principal plan. It's probably a counselor helping them, but it's the principal plan for making up the credit. And we were very specific in hearing that we didn't want them to just sit in a room and do seat time. We wanted to give them something that was purposeful and meaningful and helpful.
So I guess what I want to try to get at is, does every student, I'm talking maybe high school now, maybe juniors, maybe seniors, do they all, I know that we issue the TSIA in what, 10th grade, 11th grade?
Can be taken
Anytime?
anytime.
And so if they take it as a 9th grader, is whatever score that they make, is that going to be the score that's going to get them into?
If they score the criteria that's needed, yes. But you have to meet a certain criteria.
Right, but at 9th grade, if they meet that criteria, then that's good for the next 4 years until they get out of high school and go. So that's going to
Some kids even do it in 8th grade.
Okay, so that's going to be part of their permanent record.
Yes.
Okay, and so then that means that they don't necessarily have to do SAT or ACT if they pass the TSIA, right? Is that correct?
Depending on where they're going to college.
Well, isn't the TSIA opening them up to places like Vermont?
I'm going to refer that to Brian Davis to answer that for you. He's the Director for Advanced Academics.
All right, I should say Brian Davis, Director for Advanced Academics and Guidance Services. So TSIA 2 will determine college placement in terms of if they have to take developmental courses or not. SAT and ACT is often used for college admissions, scholarships, things of that nature. So the SAT, ACT would get them in, possibly make them eligible for scholarships. TSI determines if they have to take remedial courses or not.
Well, I'm just kind of confused about that because historically SAT and ACT were typically a little more difficult than the TSIA.
Yes.
So
the
can
way
you explain that?
Right, the way it works, if a student hits a certain level on the SAT or ACT, it actually negates them having to take TSIA 2.
Right.
But because of our dual credit offerings and everything, we try to front load TSIA 2 first because the students have, I think, an easier time passing that one typically than SAT or ACT hitting that mark. But the way we operate for dual credit purposes is get the students, as early as possible so that they can take those college courses while they're in high school. That SAT, ACT, we're looking at more junior, senior year, trying to get them ready for their applications and everything.
Okay, all right. Trying to do this up a little bit more. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay, you're almost done, but I have a couple questions that I don't think I've asked yet. Okay, on the discipline part of your report, I noticed that on the strategic priorities, you have provide 6 discipline reports to district and campus administrators. Do those get reported to the parents and the students, just like the attendance reports do, as well?
No, not at this time.
Okay. I mean, obviously, I know there's communication with the parents when discipline problems occur, but I just didn't know if there was a similar system to the Power School program with discipline. No?
No.
Okay. Then on the attendance, this is the first year we used Power School, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Can you remind me what the investment we made in that was financially? Do you remember?
I don't remember off the top of my head. We've only we incorporated for the second semester, so we don't really have accurate data to see how successful it's going to be used, but I can have to get back to you on that.
Okay. Do you, I mean, I applaud the improvements too. It's great news. But do you think that that's a big part of the improvement, or do you think it's the whole package of everything we've been doing and that's just a tool and the
I think it's improved communication. That's just one of the parts that we need to improve as far as attendance goes.
I've anecdotally and I've experienced as a parent a lot. I think I brought this up before. A lot of mistakes in the communication where I've gotten many reports that my student has missed a class and they didn't, and I got back and forth with this and it is easy to communicate back and forth that this was incorrect or whatever, and I had gotten a lot of gotten used to communicating, and they're like, oh, just wait, we usually correct those on our own. We get corrected at the end of the week, we correct them and reconcile. My question is, and that's understandable, but my question is, do you think that most of those, because our numbers are higher, do you think that most of those that are inaccuracies are getting, that may have happened throughout the week, per class, per child, are getting corrected and we're catching those and the system is auditing itself and getting corrected?
Yes, that's the purpose of our audits that we do, to correct those mistakes.
Okay. Because I'm sure there's a lot of parents who don't have time to go and contact every single time. Like, oh, I know my kid was there, I'm not going to call this time. Okay. And then one last question on slide 29, on those. Is that 29? Yeah. How are we in relation to, are these numbers, especially this year, because I know those are great numbers and we're meeting our goal, in relation to the averages for our region and in the state? Do you know?
I don't know off the top of my head, but I get that information.
That'd be great.
We get their information with our taper report, and it runs 2 years behind. But yes, when we bring the taper report, we compare with the region and also we also do it with TUC, with our TUC districts.
Yeah, that'd be good information too. Because I seem to remember these numbers being higher than what we've seen from anything that's compared to in the past. So congratulations, that's great. Thank you. That's all I have. Okay, next we have our administrative report on our teacher incentive allotment program with Ms. Brandy Garza.
Good evening, President Gonzalez-Crowley, members of the board, and Dr. Hernandez. My name is Brandy Garza, and I'm the Director for Strategic Evaluation and Assessment Supports. I am here to provide updates on the Teacher Incentive Allotment Program for TIA. This slide shows the CCISD TIA journey and how we have evolved through the past several years. Originally implemented as part of House Bill 3 of the 86th Texas Legislature, one of the main tenets for TIA is to support teachers and reward them for excellent instruction, especially in high needs and hard to fill teaching positions. House Bill 2 of the 89th legislative session provided an expansion to the teacher incentive allotment program, accounting for a comprehensive financial boost for districts to continue funding teachers. Currently, 98% of our CCISD teachers are in TIA-eligible positions. The district has been able to add eligible positions each year as we have built the program. The remaining 2% of teachers who are not eligible for TIA are in positions such as Driscoll Children's Hospital and Bayview Behavioral Hospital, where they do not meet the requirements due to either not teaching the majority of the day, not having a minimum number of students, or not having students long-term in order to collect the beginning of the year to the end of the year measurable data to show student growth. Our spending plan continues to emphasize teacher payout at 90% of the TIA award allotment and 10% maintained by the district. In addition, the district has prioritized teacher recruitment and retention. Investment in third-party assessment platforms, test item banks for assessment development, and a data dashboard system continue to be a priority as well. As the teacher incentive allotment program has expanded, the need for additional personnel has occurred as well, with a new TIA assessment advisor added to the TIA team and salary expenses shared by the TIA department and local funds, resulting in a few split-funded positions. In addition to our new features launched this past year, we continue to provide support through our ongoing communication plan and resources. Listed here are the ways we continue to provide updates and facilitate the sharing of new information. The roster verification process has been strengthened into a more user-friendly process for teachers. We have enhanced communication efforts and will continue to do so. This slide breaks down the number of teacher designations by category of master, exemplary, and recognized. We had an additional 410 new or higher designated teachers this year. This brings our CCISD total to 952 TIA designated teachers. The image on the upper far right depicts how the designation will appear on a teacher's state board certification. This slide represents the average allotment amounts for CCISD by designations from the TEA funding site. This shows you a comparison of TIA averages of Corpus Christi ISD versus surrounding districts. As you can see, Corpus Christi ISD has the highest averages for each designation level with the exception of West Oso ISD. It is important to note, though, that CCISD does have several campuses that have TIA allotment payouts that are competitive with West Oso ISD as well, such as Savala Elementary School, which has a current TIA payout for recognized of $8,481, $16,963 for exemplary, and $30,271 for masters. And Driscoll Middle School, which has a current TIA payout amount of $7,801 for recognized, $15,601 for exemplary, and $28,002 for master. Other campuses that have allotments higher than West Oso include Allen, Garcia, Gibson, and Oak Park Elementary Schools. There will be a new designation level for the 2026-2027 school year that will make it easier to qualify for a TIA designation of acknowledged, in which teachers will need to show 50% student growth and earn a 3.5 T-test average score on domains 2 and 3. These are a few highlights of our TIA celebration that was held in May. Teachers shared that earning a TIA designation was both meaningful and motivating. Many expressed appreciation for being recognized for their dedication to students and noted that the financial incentive provided opportunities to support personal and family goals. Also pictured are plaques that every CCISD designated teacher received to proudly display in their classrooms. Special thanks to the amazing Carroll High School mariachi group for their outstanding performance throughout the evening. Teachers were full of excitement and energy as they celebrated the financial impact TIA will have on their families. Some teachers shared that TIA has even renewed their passion for teaching. Teachers are experiencing strengthened confidence and seeing that they are making a meaningful difference in their students' lives. Many teachers shared how proud they were of the outcomes that their students achieved. As you can see, TIA has positively impacted our CCISD teachers by motivating them, renewing their confidence in their teaching abilities, reinforcing that their time, dedication, and effort are truly making a difference. TIA is changing lives. Please know that our office is here to support our teachers and administrators in any way we can. Their success is our district's success, and most importantly, our students' success. Thank you to all CCISD teachers for everything they do each and every day to make a positive difference. Thank you, and I welcome any questions that you may have.
Thank you for your report. We do have some questions. Mr. Clark, we'll start with you.
Ms. Garza, thank you. A couple quick ones. 98% eligible positions. Where does that fall in surrounding districts or area districts as far as a percentage of how many positions they're offering that are TIA eligible? Do we know?
We do not, but we can look into and get the data for you.
It would just be curious because that would be a pretty good marketing point
Absolutely.
to pass around.
Bless you.
Bless you.
You know, the West Coastal ISD, I think this is more for people outside of us, 'cause I think we understand it, but the reasons that their structure is higher is based on the ECODIS of those areas.
Correct.
And so
Correct.
it's important to understand we're
So
not
a lot of
pocketing
our
any
districts
money.
that are
This is based
equivalent
on
to
what we
that
get.
are in that area as well.
Okay. And maybe a dumb question, but where does acknowledged fall? Is that below recognized?
Yes, it will
Okay.
be the first designation level,
First
and
step.
it will require the lowest percentage of student growth, which is 50%.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you.
Yes,
Appreciate
sir.
you.
You're welcome.
Dr. Hawkins.
Thank you for the report. It's always good to see that our teachers are recognized for the jobs that they do and also for the incentive that the TIA has brought to our district. It's really nice to hear. I just wanted to ask you if we could get a breakdown of those campuses that you rolled off in our district, if we could get a breakdown of that information and the monies that are in those different, on those different campuses.
Yes, ma'am, absolutely. We have a document that has every school in the district and what those payout allotment amounts are.
That would be nice if we could have a copy of that.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, that's all I had. Thank you.
Mr. Bell?
Yes, thank you. It's you know, I'm always up for teachers getting as much as they possibly can. I know it's been a really difficult task along the way to do a merit-based pay within any school district and whatnot. We talked about the 98%, the 2% over at Driscoll or Bay Area because they don't have enough kids or they don't see them beginning to end, stuff like that.
Yes, sir.
Because those kiddos are 30 days or 15 days or whatnot and for their services and whatnot. Are our teachers over there that's servicing at Bayview and at Driscoll, are they servicing other school districts as well, students as well?
I think they do. They service all the students that come into the hospital.
Yes, they come to us from other school districts. They'll enroll in ours. So technically, we're serving students in our school district, but they are coming from other school districts.
And so there's no way that we, to me, that seems like they're really kind of going above and beyond situations in a very difficult thing, and then we don't allow them to participate in a merit-based pay system. So it's something I think we need to really take don't reinvent the wheel, see what other people are doing and see if we can't help them out. The second thing is if I'm that teacher at Bayview or at Driscoll, and I'm thinking, wait a minute, I can't participate in the teacher incentive allotment, so I want to transfer. Are we going to accommodate them and say, okay, we're going to let you go ahead and transfer and put you in a position to where, hey, you could be a great teacher, and we're going to really utilize that? Or are we going to just say, well, no, that's the horse you're riding and you're going to stay on it?
Yeah, I believe that they can apply. I think we actually had somebody that did do that, and they applied to go to a special ed position.
Okay. And then I had some teachers share with me about having students in their classroom, and this goes back to Mr. Knipe. You need to get with him and figure this out.
Okay.
Is that there's kids that are absent chronically during the course of the year, and they may miss the beginning test, or they may miss but then they all, at the end of the year, we're trying to get everybody back into the classroom for the final round of our STAR tests and things like that. And so now we have kiddos that may not have been in that classroom along the way, but the teachers are still being held accountable for that student's growth over the course of the year. How does that work out?
And actually for TIA, if they're not here for the beginning of the year assessment and the end of the year assessment, it does not count against them. They have to be here for both assessments.
And we don't look at any chronic absentee issues. There's no way to exempt a kid and say, they really weren't in my classroom a whole bunch. Or I've had teachers come up to me and said, I've had kids on my roll the whole year. And I go, well, go to the front office. Well, I do. But anyway, they end up showing up, and they really haven't had a chance to participate in that educational process.
Yeah.
There's no way to exempt those kids or say, no, you don't get to be part of our statistical analysis or something like that.
So we do look at that if they have a beginning of the year assessment, end of year assessment, but they were a chronic absence problem. Teachers are able to look at their rosters, and then they can reach out to us and put in we call it a ticket, and let us know there were issues, and we can look at that. We do have a little bit of local discretion.
Good. So there's an appeals process or
yes, absolutely.
Good, because when we're looking at 26% chronic absenteeism and a high motility rate, I think there needs to be something. Also, Ms. Hawkins kind of touched on it. We have 952 teachers that are currently in teacher incentive allotment. I'd really like to see a list of what schools have them, what subject matter, and what level they're at and whatnot. I think that would be a good look at trends across what we're seeing across the district. And the last thing is there, now that we're like in year 3 or 4, and we have teachers that have been on the TIF now for 2 or 3 years, are we seeing a correlation in the TEA rating of that school in relation to the number of teachers that are currently on the teacher incentive allotment?
We can look into that and pull the data and check it.
I think that should be something that I think that's a whole focus of.
I don't know if that was done before I got into this position. I started in January, but absolutely, we're looking at a lot of, we do have a TIA data analysis now, we're specialists, and so we're having her pull a lot of that data for us and do some of those studies so we can see the impact of it.
And have we had one of the things about teacher incentive allotment is that if you're at this school and you're a master teacher, you're going to get X amount of dollars, and if you're at this school over here, you're going to get more. Are we seeing a quest for transfer so that we can get more money on my TIA, or is it like I'm happy where I am and we're good?
Actually, we did ask teachers that, and they're happy where they are. Mm-hmm. A lot of them, they feel that their schools are that's their school family, and they don't want to move regardless of the amount of money.
Yeah, to get those last 5 years.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Ardono.
I've got a few questions, but I'll forward those to you. But then I just wanted to make mention that I'm certain, as we have dealt with the closures and the different campuses, that those teachers that have been assigned have all been, as you say, satisfied with what their transfers have processed regarding what their tier allotment will be?
If any of them were not satisfied, I did not hear about it. We did a lot of work behind the scenes before even closing the campuses. We shared out among district leadership what the amounts were at different campuses. And I know that I believe the assistant superintendents did a lot of work when they were looking at what schools teachers would go to. I gave them a list of the teachers that were already designated and the amounts that they were getting. And for the most part, they tried to match them up to that as best they could.
Well, I want to commend you and the Office of Human Services, as well as our assistant superintendents, in ensuring that meeting the goal of that aspect for all the teachers that were, enclosed and consolidated campuses are understanding, know, and look forward to the new year. So
Yes,
thank
sir.
you very much.
Thank
Appreciate
you.
it.
Yes,
You
sir.
bet.
Mr. Villarreal.
Okay, thank you. I just have one quick question, just a clarification on going on that 98% of the eligible teachers. Is it just the Bayview and Driscoll, or are there anybody else such as?
There's very few teachers that don't qualify if they're not coded in 087 in PEAMS. They have to be coded that way. And then they have to spend at least 50% of their day teaching. And my understanding is some of those positions that do not, like at the hospitals, they work on their caseloads, so they're in an office most of the day. And then they service the kids, which is a good thing for a short amount of time because we hope that they aren't in the hospital long term. But
So let's say adaptive ed, are they eligible, TI eligible?
yes,
Yeah,
sir.
okay, so.
Our SPED teachers, dyslexia teachers, all of them now are eligible.
And to be clear, right, I think, to Mr. Bell's point about having, what can we do for those other teachers? This is set by the state, not by us, right?
Correct, and I have had this conversation many times with the Education Service Center in just making sure I was correct when teachers did reach out and ask why they weren't eligible, to make sure that we understood why they weren't. I will continue to advocate for those teachers and continue seeing what we could do, or if there's anything else, we could, offer them in the way of the incentive, but that's the information that we were given in the state guidelines.
Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
All right, I don't see any other lights on, so I think that's it. Thank you so much for your
Thank you.
report.
Thank you.
All right, that's going to take us to our consent agenda. I did not receive any request to have anything pulled.
Move to approve.
All right, we have a motion by Mr. Villarreal and a second by Mr. Clark. And deliberators are open, actually. No, I'm sorry, let me clear that. That is not,
I was going to say I didn't vote it.
yeah, that's not it. There you go. Motion carries. Okay, so now we have our action items. And our first action item is our budget considerations. Ms. Douglas.
Hello. Any questions?
Does anybody have any questions or comments before we make a motion?
Move to approve.
Second.
Wait, we have a motion by Mr. Villarreal. And who made the second? Mr. Arredondo. And this is just for item A.
Item A, yeah.
This is just for A, right?
Right.
Mr. Arredondo.
Yes.
You vote. Motion carries. Okay, now we have item B, which is our possible action on the 26-27 compensation plan. Does anybody have any questions or comments on that?
And this is the recommended plan that we heard from earlier, correct?
This is, yes, this is a recommended plan. as
I would make a
presented.
motion to approve both action items B and C.
Okay.
Second.
We have a motion to approve both items B and C, and a second by Mr. Clark, and a second by Mr. Villarreal. Is that correct? Okay, and deliberators are open. Motion carries. Okay, and our last action item is approval to fill the board officer vacancy, and that is our vice president's position. Do we have any nominations?
Madam President, I place a nomination in the name of Eric Villarreal, and one of the reasons is being a former president and the activities that he supported as we've commenced our committee meetings as far as the curriculum and the finance committee meetings, and is one of the reasons that I'm supporting that name for nomination.
Okay, do we have any other nominations?
Yes, I'd like to nominate Dr. Hawkins. I'm not going to make a speech about it. I'm just going to nominate her.
Okay. We have a nomination
That's
for
a first.
Mr. Villarreal and a nomination for Dr. Hawkins.
You take that stuff serious, man.
Will all those in favor of Mr. Villarreal raise your hands, please? Let the record show there's 4. For all those in favor of Dr. Hawkins, please raise your hands. There's 3. Okay. So now I'll entertain a motion to confirm Mr. Villarreal for the office of Vice President. We have a motion by Mr. Arredondo. Do I have a second?
Second.
We have a motion by Mr. Arredondo and a second by Mr. Clark. And we have your deliberators open. It's just voting to confirm it's procedure, to confirm since it. All right, motion carries. Congratulations. That brings us to our calendar. The item has been, that we have our upcoming next board meeting is on July 27th, our regular board meeting, and then July 30th we have our summer graduation at Veterans Memorial High School at 5:30. That'll take us to our Board of Trustees and Superintendent remarks. We'll start with Mr. Barrera.
Just want to congratulate all the staff involved in graduation. So much hard work, dedication behind the scenes, such amazing, great speeches and stories. Kudos and congratulations to all our hardworking students, staff. It was a culminating 2 days, and so appreciate all the hard work. Hope everybody has a blessed summer and comes back refreshed and ready to go. Thank you so much.
Second that motion. I need to explain my absence at different graduations. I had a health emergency in our branch and collegiate graduations. And then as far as the other graduations, I had a grandson graduating out of town, the only son of one of my granddaughters, and it was an exciting event because being there, but more importantly, there were 858 graduates at this high school. And they graduated in an hour and 37 minutes. And I'm still at awe at that. I'm also at awe the fact that it was held in the Frisco Cowboys Training Center, a great facility. But it was really, we do, that's a highlight for us. And I can speak for myself, for the committee, for the board, that seeing the youngsters cross that stage and the excitement, and it seemed, I only attended the Cole's graduation the other day, but Mr. Barrera mentioned speeches of some of our graduates. The speech given at the end was, I think, a combination of a valedictorian, salutatorian kind of speech. I think through the years, it's really been very heartwarming to see the youngsters take to heart and the things that they share, especially thanking their teachers and the administrators and their friends and the parents that have supported them to finally see their day come to fruition, walking across the stage. But again, kudos to our teachers and our administrators and all the staff in our schools. Really, as you may not realize or not, have that certain impact on all of those graduates having gotten their diplomas. We thank everyone, and we look forward for another great year. Thank you.
Mr. Bell.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I thought you were just going to go. I apologize.
I have to wait to be recognized. A couple of things. First off, Dr. Wilson, I think, I don't know what Mr. Arredondo said, but I think he just challenged you. Anyway, the past week or so, past couple of weeks, we've had a couple of our former employees pass away. Linda Garcia was a longtime teacher at Lexington and at Hicks Elementary, and she served our community well as a teacher, but also as for her church as well. And then, Robert Parks, I was very, very fortunate to catch Mr. Parks on the beginning of his teaching journey as a first-year teacher. I was a student at Tom Brown Middle School, and then also caught him at the end of his career where we taught together at Carroll High School. And students that were fortunate to have him as a teacher, they were blessed. And you look up the definition of teacher in a dictionary, and you'll see a picture of Robert Parks. And so, truly missed by our family. And also, congratulations to Dr. Shaw Hawkins as she completed her, I want to say, I did a little bit of figure. It's like 25,000 students you've shook hands with so far. You're right behind Dr. Hernandez. Okay, and Jaime was going to, Mr. Arredondo was going to be there, but he skipped out. Thank you.
Dr. Harkins.
I just want to congratulate all the parents, all the grandparents, the aunts, the uncles, everybody that had something to do with the students that marched across that stage. And it was electric, aside from a few that thought they wanted to do something on the stage, but it is always exciting to see the fervor and that excitement that the kids have and that the parents have. I had that when I graduated. It was, you gonna do this or not? And it was a thing that we did, but nowadays it is awesome to see so many students walking across the stage and getting that first taste of success. And so I'd like to send out kudos to those. And also the students who are first in family. And we heard those speeches, and so often, the first, and that's first in family, but I want to go back over to Coles High School, the alternative campus, and it is really awesome to hear some of those speeches that those students give on how they made it on broken pieces. And so my hats go off to them, because most of the time those are the ones that give up. But when they come on back and they understand the importance of what it is, what it means to graduate, you cannot help but celebrate with them, because some of them really struggled to get across that stage. So my congratulations goes out to all of the graduates, and thank you, Mr. Bell. Mr. Bell, you can tell he was a coach, right? It's always about statistics and numbers, so thank you for that. But I just want to congratulate everybody that was a part of what we do here in CCISD. I'm really proud to be a member of this community, a graduate of this community, and now I serve in a different role, but I also was a teacher, and I appreciate everything. Thank you.
offered congratulations earlier to the finance group for the hard work they did. That can't be said enough, but I would be remiss not to recognize that all the departments had to send y'all some cuts, and they had to trim some fat in places that they probably maybe didn't know that they had. So we appreciate everybody's work from there. I mean, it shows up kind of on our scorecard, but it's really the work that y'all do, and we certainly appreciate that. And I don't know who's in charge of it, but we have to find a spot for another banner, because we happen to have the superintendent of the region sitting up here on the dais with us. So we need some more spots, and if any other board members are looking and you're jealous, tough. Work harder.
Yeah, I'll just add that, graduation season for me really reinforces why I'm here. Again, our vision to be a school system where every student's a learner, every learner's a graduate, and every graduate's a success. And I feel proud that we put over 2,500 students out into the real world that I feel are prepared whatever they're gonna be in the world. And so it's a good note to end in. And like you said, Mr. Barrera, hopefully we get this time to recharge, refresh, and come back in the fall, in August, in summer, ready to make our numbers even better. And I also want to offer my congratulations to Dr. H as well on his recognition.
We're gonna have to get a new bank with all the money we're winning.
Did you have anything you wanted to say?
Thank you to the board and everything that you're doing, being at all these events. I know y'all are busy, but you show up and you've been there. Also, want to recognize Dr. Clement for being back with us. He's just come back. So yes, keep on fighting. That's wonderful. And then just to our amazing team. They've been busy with all the graduations, and it just couldn't happen without them. So thank you to all of you.
And I'll go last and kind of wrap it all up and take a moment to congratulate Dr. Clement on your retirement as well. We're glad to have you back today, but we will miss you. And thank you for your service to the district and best wishes on your next endeavors. And congratulations, Dr. Hernandez. But really taking a bigger look to thank everybody as we wrap up the school year and everybody officially, and everybody goes on a little bit of a break. It has been quite a year, and I think we've all been through a little bit of the ringer this year, but some highs, a lot of highs, a couple lows, in a way. That just some tough choices and things we've had to do and tackle, but we've done it, and we've worked together, and we've come out the other side with. I've had the opportunity to travel around the state through Leadership TASB and see a lot of districts and a lot of challenges around the state, and I'm so proud of the work we've done and what the story we have to tell now. And so I know it's taken every single one of the people in this room to do it, and I'm really, really proud of that. So I hope everybody gets a little time to rest and recharge and enjoy it, and I look forward to everybody coming back and starting anew with the next school year. So thank you. And with that, this concludes our June 8th, 2026 Corpus Christi Independent School District Board of Trustees meeting. Our next regular board meeting will be held on July 27th, 2026. We are adjourned at 7:08 p.m.